All right, ladies, I've got something for you. Um, Thank you so much for celebrating with me this morning. I love it. I love all of it. All right, gotta love all the tech updates. Okay, yesterday we're doing a back-to-back session, which is kind of fun and different. So, yesterday, again, we talked about giving and all the different angles and heart postures we can do that from. And so today I wanted to talk about receiving. Receiving, the first word I wrote down, and it is something that I also included in our giving conversation, and that is gratitude. Receiving from a position of gratitude. Um, when we when we find ourselves in a receiving place, I want, I deeply want for you to be receiving with the heart of gratitude, with the heart of thank you. Those two words, very simple. I've encouraged, no, it's just right, Mary. Is that the dry one? Yeah, that's the dry. Um, I've encouraged you in the past to receive with the words thank you. Not thanks, but being very direct in saying thank you. It sits different. It pauses differently in our hearts and in our expectations. And so I thought, okay, what are some stigmas or what are some things that we go through when it comes to receiving? We we might have a fear of obligation that, oh, I need to repay this in some way. And yet receiving is an act of openness. And we might carry some kind of fear of obligation. And so when we pause and say, thank you, and we acknowledge and we meet that with gratitude, the fear of obligation is combated with the beauty of gratitude. And so take some time, maybe a side note or the challenge I have for you today is to acknowledge. Okay, here you go. You can use that one. That one's not dry. The challenge is to acknowledge, to list and take note of what you have received, and then have gratitude for those things. Give thanks for those things. Okay, so that's kind of the challenge or side note I would have for you today. And then, Mary, that's all you have is your green markers. You want another page? Yeah. Number. Okay. Another is that we might be carrying some unworthiness in when we receive. This is all you have, Mary. When we receive, we must be thankful. We must be thankful for what we receive. Yeah? Are you thankful? No? Okay. She's three. Um, but carrying that unworthiness of not only that fear of obligation of being not being able to repay, right, what you've received, but then the unworthiness of, oh, you shouldn't have, right? Or even deeper in like how like why is this mine? Why did they like asking the questions that don't necessarily need to be asked, but to receive in gratitude and to accept that you are worthy. Someone thought you were worthy of that thing, that time, that money, that energy, right? That experience. And I want to encourage you not to deny the gifts of others. Whether Mary, you're going to sit on your chair. Yep. Whether they are physical, spiritual. They're here. They're here, but I'm talking to them. Okay. So I know it's just me. We'll see them in a minute when we're done recording. Okay. But we cannot deny the gifts of others because those gifts were not given to you, they were given to them, right? And when we deny the gifts of others, we deny the gift of giving. And then in turn, understanding or feeling the gift of receiving. And so the encouragement I have for you today is that your promptings to give are very powerful. And I encourage you to let them flow. And then on that flip side, allow the promptings of others to flow, which means receiving gratefully and wholly in a way that acknowledges their prompting and their gift and allows you to receive it with a whole and cheerful heart. Something we referenced in our last session, right? And so the question today is, what is something that you have a hard time receiving? Or what is something that you've received that you don't fully, you haven't fully received yet in your heart? Maybe because of a fear of obligation or the sense of unworthiness. What can you release yourself from so you can fully receive something? That's what I want you to feel and hear today. So in our live discussion, that's what we're going to dive into. We're going to dive into these pieces of what we've received and see if we can crack those open a little bit more for ourselves. All right. I still look forward to this talk or conversation. See you soon.